Hello and welcome to DT Daily, another edition here from Digital Trends, live every morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, bringing you live content, interviews, headlines, all kinds of things. And as I said, we are live. We're broadcasting live on Twitch, Periscope, YouTube, and Facebook, meaning we can take your comments, your questions, whatever you want to talk about, drop it in there. We will cover those. We'll get to those comments. And let me tell you, today we do have a lot on tap. We've got not only this, Les Shu, our senior editor, is going to be joining us from our New York studio here in mere moments to talk to the CEO of Indiegogo, David Mandelbrot, all about Indiegogo and what they're doing with their crowdsourcing, with their crowdfunding. It is going to be really, really exciting, so stay tuned for that. Coming up here in just a bit, we've got Kim Wetzel, who's going to be hopping on to talk about Amazon Echo devices, in particular with Black Friday coming up, which it is coming up very soon, in case you didn't realize that. And she's going to be talking about some of the different devices that are going to be on sale for that, some of the ones you can pick up, what one maybe you should choose, what you should think about when you're choosing them. We'll have the devices here in studio. And we've got Chris Bevans, creative director at Dyne, who's going to be hopping on to talk about all the cool, basically technology-inspired clothing that they're making, or clothing that uses technology. It's really exciting stuff, so we're going to be talking to them as well. Like I said, live, so drop your comments and questions in there. We've got our Read 'em and Weep segment and our headlines coming up here in just a minute, but I did want to say something really quick, just, for anybody in the tech world. I mean, it doesn't even matter for the tech world. Obviously, yesterday we lost a legend in Stan Lee. Stan Lee passing away yesterday. I just wanted to acknowledge it at the top. It's not like there's any shortage of us all talking about Stan Lee, but man, what an amazing life Stan Lee had. Just so many different stories and characters that he gave to us. And I was thinking about this just from a tech standpoint, because you know how Stan Lee's in pretty much every Marvel movie as a cameo. We've talked about this before, about how actors are starting to digitally scan themselves in. This is a real thing. You can check out this article at Digital Trends, where they're scanning themselves in so that they can be used in future movies. If ever there is a use for that technology, it is for Stan Lee. So I hope he can continue to appear in every Marvel movie from here on out. I'm sure they're probably already thinking about that, but that would be pretty cool. All right, so let's get to our top headline of the day. And it's this. We kind of analyze, what's trending. And right now, the big story is Amazon. So Amazon, if you remember, they had their competition where they were going to be picking a second headquarters. Main headquarters is in Seattle. We all know that. And they have launched this huge thing. I feel like it's been going on for years. I don't know, maybe it's a year, where they've been talking about opening up their second headquarters. They had hundreds of cities throughout North America apply to have that new headquarters. It was going to bring 50,000 jobs. It's going to bring billions of dollars to the economy. And there's been leaks going on throughout this whole process about where it was going to be. And the leak that came out a couple of weeks ago, turns out it was the correct one. They're splitting the headquarters. So kind of anticlimactic, if you ask me. They were going to be putting it in one place. Now they've said that HQ2 is going to be both in New York City and in Northern Virginia. In particular, some enclave of, a suburb of Arlington called Crystal City, which I was not aware of Crystal City beforehand, but Crystal City outside of Arlington, Virginia. They're going to get the other headquarters. They're going to split it. So essentially, it'll be 25,000 employees in New York, and 25 in Queens, actually, and 25,000 in Arlington. And then they'll split the $5 billion that we're going to invest in it. That's great. It seems there's a lot of rumors out there, and you can read some of this at digitaltrends.com as well, just about how they'd already decided this. It was a ploy by Amazon to get all this information from cities and then use that kind of tax information to leverage it, which, quite honestly, is a really, really smart move on Amazon's part. I mean, it's a little shady, but hey, it's business, and all these cities just gave them all this information. So they're talking about how now, when they're leveraging for other, distribution centers and things like that, they can use this info, which they did announce there's going to be another thing in Nashville. They've got an operation that's going to be going in there, and they'll bring, I think, about 5,000 jobs to the Nashville area. So that was kind of the big news. Amazon announcing that they settled their HQ2, and it's HQ2A and B, I guess, is what it would be doing. All right, so again, keep your comments in there coming in. We'll get to those here in a second. We do have our Read 'em and Weep segment that we do here every day because we are live. We read the comments, as we've said before, good or bad, we'll take a look at them, which is why we encourage everybody to go to digitaltrends.com or our social media outlets and drop your comments in there. And let's take a look at what we have today. First up, we've got Keith Graham regarding ancient continent discovered beneath the ice of Antarctica. I went down this rabbit hole yesterday for a long time. Probably a giant pyramid with a predator inside of it. Keith, you're probably right. It's probably also where they keep the documents about how they created the flat Earth. It's also where maybe they describe how they, handle the chemtrails, and the lizard people, I'm sure, have their base there as well. But there we go. So Keith Graham, I appreciate that response. Let's see what else we have here. We've got, okay, so this is Seja. It's freaking here already at Door My Lover. Regarding digital trends, okay, the best Black Friday video game console deals. So you can also get a Wii U for under $80 with games included at Walmart. And so a Wii U, I didn't realize, yeah, people were still looking for Wii U's. And Gabe replied accurately, this list is for good consoles. So not counting the Wii U in there, I'll still break out a Wii U every now and then if somebody has one. But yeah, it's, I don't think I'm going to get one for $80. All right, let's move on here. Taking a look at our different comments and questions that we have being dropped in. We've got Richard Scott Robinson, who's regarding Starship Technologies' cute sidewalk drones roll into London. Now, we had a story about this where this is true. So these coolers, basically, I call them, they look like coolers on wheels, but that's kind of what they are. And they're delivery drones that'll roll around on the sidewalk and deliver things throughout the neighborhood. So you could order something from the store, they pop it into this safe, this cooler looking safe, and it will roll it on over to the destination that you want. Richard says, I love it. Then when I get tired, I can just ride it down the street like a cat on a Roomba. That's true. That's the thing, the speculation that I've been having about this and that we've been talking here at Digital Trends about is just how are they going to keep those things secure? Because I know they've got all kinds of locks on them, and maybe they'll have, different IDs you have to type into them, but still, you can just follow somebody down with them. And yeah, I didn't even think about riding on them, but I mean, who wouldn't jump on one if you saw it rolling by you on the street? That's what I can agree with that. So I'm going with you there, Richard Scott Robinson. All right, let's continue on here and see what else we've got. This made me very excited when I saw that this comment came through. Big fan. I just want to say that right off the bat. Macho Man Randy Savage just said regarding the Sequent Supercharger smartwatch review. Macho Man says, this is one of the ugliest watches I've ever laid eyes on. Ooh, yeah. So that's as close as I can do for the Macho Man voice. I'd win as Macho Man for Halloween. Macho Man's awesome. Although I do want to now read whatever else Macho Man is posting online. I kind of want Hulk Hogan to respond. We need to have some kind of back and forth on there. So Macho Man, please continue to post on all of Digital Trends things. All right, our next one that we have, and taking a look here in the chat I'm seeing here, just referring back to the Amazon story that we had at the beginning, Sarah says, I worked in Crystal City in 1997, if I remember correctly. That's where they have the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. Okay, that makes more sense. And then she also said, we shouldn't be too close to a company like Amazon that loves stealing designs from their marketplace. Yikes. So, I don't know. Maybe there's a conspiracy theory right there that we just got. All right, so Russell Howerton, going back to our comments and questions for Read 'em and Weep. Regarding sick of walking everywhere, here are the best e-boards. Russell says, we have cars you don't drive, bikes you don't pedal, skateboards you don't push, phones we don't call people on, drones are now toys, and robot brothels, which is true. You can read all about that at digitaltrends.com. People over 65 must be losing their minds. It's true. That's probably everything that was in their dreams and nightmares is now coming true. And it's also, I don't know if this makes us the laziest generation, but I kind of like it. So I'm going to be okay with it. All right. Let's see. We've got one more here. This is Mary T. At Linux Girl. So Linux Girl, big fan. Regarding digital trends, quantum-based accelerometer can locate objects without GPS. This is actually a pretty exciting technological advancement. I was reading about this on Digital Trends the other day. It's really cool how it can do it without GPS. It's very technical, but you can read all about it there. And Mary T's response is, yeah, but it'll be tough to fit that thing under my dashboard. That's true. It's rather large. I'm going to guess maybe they can scale it down, but that is what Mary T is referring to right there. Every day, leave your comments and questions. We will go through them. We will read them. We'll talk to you about them, maybe dispute them, or maybe we'll agree with you. That's all for our Read 'em and Weep segment. All right, continuing on. I'm Greg Nibbler, just in case I didn't say that at the beginning, because I don't think I did. We've got a couple more headline news stories that we want to get to you before we head to our New York studio, where the CEO of Indiegogo, David Mandelbrot, is going to be joined by Les Shue to talk about everything going on with them. So that's coming up here in just a few minutes. We'll be talking to them in New York. But here's a topic that I actually thought was pretty exciting for me. I feel like a lot of people want this to happen. A lot of people have been clamoring for this. I know I have. I've misspelled so many things, and it has to do with Twitter maybe finally getting an edit button. You know, how many times have you sent out something on Twitter and then immediately realized, oh, I screwed that up, I typed too fast, I have big thumbs, sometimes I misspell things, or I'm excited and I post something, and then immediately I want to fix it, but then it's like, okay, do you have to delete it and repost it? Then it looks kind of weird, so what do you do about it? Well, now Jack Dorsey of Twitter has come out and made a couple of statements about this. And he was talking about how they've been looking at doing this for a while, looking at getting an edit button on there. And it's something that they have talked about internally, but obviously they have not done it yet. And part of the reason he's saying they don't want to, or that they've delayed doing it, is because of the fact they don't want you to edit posts from the past. They look at it as like a public record. I mean, look, quite honestly, I mean, Trump's Twitter posts are now officially public record and public statements. So I can get why they don't want somebody to go back through and be like a month later, like, oh, I'm going to edit that and change that. But the thing is, if you had something where it was quick, where you could edit it right away, that I think is where it would be an advantage. And that's what Jack Dorsey is talking about. And I'm curious what people think. Like, do you think this is a good idea to edit your posts? Should you be able to edit your posts? Or are you more along the lines of, you know, no, that's it. You posted it. It is what it is. It's your stream of consciousness. If you messed up your spelling or your grammar, too bad. That's how the process works. You know, maybe that's what people do want. So let us know what you think. For me personally, yeah, I think it's a great idea to be able to edit. Maybe you get like, I don't know, 30 seconds, or maybe a little more than 30 seconds. You get like 2 minutes to edit your post. You post it and you get 2 minutes. You can go back in there and you can edit your post. And that's another good point to bring up. Actually, a question on this is, how long do you think people should have to edit their Twitter post? I mean, again, I do agree that I think you shouldn't be able to edit something from years ago or months ago. You can delete it if you want to, but that's part of Twitter. You know what you're doing when you get on there. But man, to just edit something so, just a ridiculous spelling or grammar issue, I'd like 2 minutes. 2 minutes to do it, because usually you did it right after you post it. You made that mistake. But let us know what you think on that if you have any comments or questions. Because again, we are live here, broadcasting live. Courtney says, yes, within a limited time, I type too fast. Me too. I type too fast. My thumbs are too big. I do screw that up quite a bit. So I would like that. Jack Dorsey, CEO again of Twitter, said that they're working on that. Oh yeah, that's another one, like sending out the wrong URL. I've done that before where I copy and paste a URL, but like I missed the end of it somehow. That's really annoying. So they're talking about getting it done, working on it. It's not going to come out yet, but at least now he's publicly saying they're working on a contingency plan for an edit button. All right, we have time for one more here, and this is a pretty interesting study that came out before we're going to toss to our New York studio. And it's a study that came out about autonomous cars and about where people think it's going to go in the future. What is this going to do? Because autonomous cars are on their way. We know it's going to be happening. Virtually every car company on Earth is working on it in some capacity. Software companies are working on it. But what happens when we do get these fully autonomous cars on the roads? And so it's a 19-page study that's called Autonomous Vehicles and the Future of Urban Tourism. So written and published by Scott Cohen and Debbie Hopkins. And it talks about how the deployment of these private cars and what, onto our roads, these autonomous cars, how it's going to disrupt, in their words, disrupt nearly every actor in the tourism world, including car rental companies, hotels, restaurants, bars, and brothels. Yes, even brothels. Because if you think about it, these are essentially moving hotel rooms at that point, where you don't have to worry about really a steering wheel or anything like that. You've just got a room that's on wheels traveling around the city. And so they did bring up the fact that this could be imagine Amsterdam's red light district with traveling autonomous cars all around as you're touring around everywhere. You can do whatever you want in there. But they talk about that kind of thing, being disrupted in that aspect, which I do think is pretty interesting. But then also just some of the different ways, think about travel. If normally, like if you go to a destination and normally you want to stay near where you want to see, like say the the inner Paris or something like that. You want to go to Paris, you want to stay near the Eiffel Tower. But it's really expensive to stay there because the reason you want to do that is it's a real pain to navigate everywhere to get there in the first place if you stay out in the city or stay a few miles away where it's cheaper. Well, now with an autonomous car, it makes that way easier. It takes the stress out of it. You don't have to worry about driving. You don't have to worry about taking a taxi or a bus. You can actually just hop into an autonomous car. It takes you there, and that's just part of your tour now. You're riding around the city. You're in your own private little tour bus that takes you where you want to go. And just what that would do for the hotel industry, what that would do for rental cars, what that would do for, would that bring too many people? If everybody's got their own little autonomous car that's going in there, instead of taking shuttles, like how is it going to affect things? And it's really something that I think is pretty interesting as far as how we're going to manage that once these are on the road. And they're questions that we need to be tackling. We need to be tackling those now before this becomes such a huge thing. They even talked about how it could sell fresh produce or coffee in the cars. Imagine that for your commute. You hop in there and you have some breakfast and a coffee, and this thing just shows up and takes you straight to work. I kind of like the idea. We can check more of that out at digitaltrends.com. and take a look there. Coming up on today's show, Kim Wetzel is going to be joining us to talk about Amazon Echo devices, and we're also going to be talking to Chris Bevans, the creative director of Dyne. Now, we're going to head to New York to talk to senior editor Les Hsu of Digital Trends, who is joined by the CEO of Indiegogo, David Mandelbrot, to talk about Indiegogo, what they're doing, what the future of crowdfunding is, and how everything is really exciting in that world. Hello, New York.
Hey, thanks, Greg. So I'm here with Dave from Indiegogo. Thanks for coming in. You just came in from San Francisco. Before we jump into all things crowdfunding, can you tell us a little bit about kind of your background and what you do as CEO at Indiegogo?
Sure. So first of all, Les, thanks a lot for having me. Yes, I'm the CEO of Indiegogo. I've actually been at Indiegogo for a little over 5 years, and I've been CEO for almost 3 years. As CEO, I oversee both company strategy and operations. I'm making sure that we've got a good vision for what it is that we're trying to do, that we're clearly communicating that vision to our employees and the world, and then really making sure that we're executing on that vision.
So since you started in 2016, that's when you became CEO, can you talk a little bit about some of the changes that you have made at Indiegogo, and maybe also talk a little bit about what has changed in crowdfunding since you took over?
Yeah, so Les, the biggest thing that's changed in crowdfunding since I took over is, when I became CEO, there were largely 3 companies that were focused on the crowdfunding space. One was GoFundMe, one was Kickstarter, and one was Indiegogo. Indiegogo pioneered crowdfunding. We were the first of those 3 crowdfunding platforms. The big change that's happened is that each company has started to really establish its sort of specialty. With GoFundMe, GoFundMe's got a real focus on personal cause and nonprofit fundraising. Kickstarter is really focused on the creative community, things like video makers and musicians, and tabletop game makers is very popular. Indiegogo, starting in 2016, became hyper-focused on product entrepreneurs and really helping product entrepreneurs get all the way from an idea in their head to a product in the market. And we really support those entrepreneurs by helping them go direct to consumers on our platform.
And I think one of the ways I read that you're doing that is also you have a storefront, and the successful campaigns can actually sell their products through Indiegogo. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So we launched a little over a year ago. We launched the Indiegogo Marketplace, where now even if it used to be that you could just use Indiegogo if you were running a crowdfunding campaign. But now we actually have solutions for entrepreneurs all the way through the life cycle. So even before you launch a crowdfunding campaign, we have something called pre-launch to help you build up your email list and get early customer interest in your product. We offer the crowdfunding campaign. We then have a product called In Demand, where you can keep raising money for your project even after your crowdfunding campaign is over. And we launched Marketplace, where if you're shipping product, you can actually sell those products on Indiegogo. And for those products, Indiegogo actually guarantees for the backer that they will receive that product.
Was that one of the issues? You have this campaign that has a wildly successful product, and they get millions of dollars. Is it? And then they're like, "Oh my God, what are we doing with all this money?" So is that the problem that you see, that they actually didn't have the support. Getting money is one thing, but it's
Yeah.
like, what do you do with that money afterwards?
Yeah, it's interesting. For a while, there were actually metrics that suggested that the more money you raised, in a lot of ways, the harder it would be to deliver your product, because it's harder to develop a product at large scale in some ways than it is on a smaller scale. What Indiegogo did, starting a little bit after I became CEO in 2016, is we started partnering with companies that could help the entrepreneurs on our platform ultimately ship their product. So, for example, we formed a partnership with Arrow Electronics. Arrow is one of the largest distributors of electronic components here in the US. Arrow will review the bill of materials for the entrepreneur, make sure that none of the components in their product are end of life cycle, and help the entrepreneur ensure that they'll be able to actually ship the product that they intend to ship.
So I think one of the things that we've seen is that a lot of these crowdfunding failures, I think rub people the wrong way, and maybe there's a perception that a lot of these projects on Indiegogo or Kickstarter or what have you are kind of like scam, and I think you've noticed this issue too. So my question is, what are you doing to address that issue? What are you doing to sort of build customer trust? When they back a product, you know what, we've got you.
Yeah, that's a great question. So the first thing I should point out is that very, very few of the projects on Indiegogo are actual scams. Less than 1% of the projects are people that are actually claiming that they're going to deliver a manufactured product that they're not ultimately going to deliver. It's less than 1% of the projects on Indiegogo, and we have a trust and safety team that is world class at identifying those projects and removing them from the platform. The much bigger issue that product entrepreneurs face, as I alluded to earlier, is that they raise money for their project and then they may not have expertise in manufacturing, or they may not have expertise in logistics, and so they run into challenges in actually manufacturing and delivering that product. So what Indiegogo has done is that we've partnered with companies like Arrow Electronics for manufacturing, companies like Ingram Micro for shipping, to help entrepreneurs at each stage of their journey to make sure that they can ship products. We've also, as I mentioned, we launched our marketplace product, so for more and more products on Indiegogo, backers can be guaranteed that they'll either get that product or they'll get their money back.
Sorry, Dave. This is the problem with live broadcasting. I think there's something wrong with your mic. I think your sweater might be causing some. Yeah.
Okay. Is that better?
I think that's better.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No worries. Well, so it is live, folks. So let's talk about some of your favorite campaigns on Indiegogo right now. What are some of the cool products that maybe people should check out?
Oh yeah, there's so many. I don't know where to start. I'll just highlight a few quick ones. One is Mate X. Mate's created the latest generation of electric bicycles. They've created a beautiful electric bicycle. This is actually their second campaign on Indiegogo, but it's been the most successful crowdfunding campaign on any platform for the last 2 years. It's less than $1,000, and it is a world-class electric bike from a wonderful female entrepreneur founder from Denmark, actually. The second one that I think is really interesting is a product called the Hydro. It's a rowing machine, an exercise rowing machine, but one that allows you to connect to have a real world experience. So you've got a screen where you can see yourself rowing out in nature and in other locations, and row along with other people that are using the Hydro at the same time. And then we've had recently one that I personally like is the Cosmo Communicator, which is from one of our entrepreneurs coming from China who've developed a device that's sort of like in a way it's a combination of a phone and a very small laptop. Actually, it opens up and it has a decent sized keyboard, and you can put your SIM card in it and use it like a regular phone, but also type on it like a laptop.
That's really cool. So do you have an all-time favorite Indiegogo product?
Yeah, I do. My all-time favorite is a product called the Flow Hive. It was a father and son team from Australia, and they they developed a better beehive. And what was interesting is that you wouldn't even know that there were so many people so interested in beehives, but there's a large beekeeping community all over the world. And they were hoping to raise $50,000, for their beehive, and they raised over $12 million for their beehive. And I liked it because, the bee population was in decline, and because of that beehive now, that there'll be more bees as more people are cultivating honey in their own homes, thanks to Indiegogo.
Cool. Now, I know you got a busy New York schedule while you're in town for a couple days, but before you leave, I want to ask you, what's ahead for Indiegogo in 2019 and beyond? What's ahead you see for crowdfunding? We were just talking about CES just now. So what do you have going on?
Yeah, so we got a bunch of big things going on. First of all, Indiegogo attends CES every year. We don't just attend, but we have essentially the central booth inside Eureka Park at the show. There are now hundreds of entrepreneurs that have launched their products on Indiegogo to go direct to consumer. That actually there's tens of thousands worldwide, but there's hundreds that actually attend CES. Most of those are in Eureka Park, where the earliest stage entrepreneurs are. So Indiegogo will continue to have a big presence at Eureka Park. And then, excuse me, you'll continue to see Indiegogo doing more to ensure that backers are ultimately getting the products that they fund on Indiegogo. You'll see more products with guaranteed fulfillment. You'll see us establishing more partnerships to help ensure that the entrepreneurs are successful. And you'll see even more enterprises using Indiegogo, large-scale companies using Indiegogo to launch new products and connect directly with consumers. Just last quarter, both Lego and Gillette actually launched new products on Indiegogo as a way to really connect with their audience and demonstrate the innovations that even large companies are doing.
That's cool. As a big Lego fan myself, I'm really looking forward to that. One of our favorite companies, and we're definitely going to be at CES, so we'll definitely stop by again to check in and catch up with you there.
Fantastic. We'll be happy to have you, Les.
Thanks so much for coming in, Dave.
Okay, thank you for having me.
We're going to throw it back to Greg in our Portland office.
All right, we're back here live with Digital Trends here in our Portland office. Thank you so much, Les and David. We appreciate you guys tuning in. So I am here now with Kim Wetzel. Hello, Kim.
Hi, how are you doing?
Doing well. Kim's our smart home editor to talk about Black Friday coming up. Obviously, which in case you didn't realize, it's really soon. What is it, next week?
It's like next Friday.
Next Friday. That's going to be happening. So it's time to start thinking about some of the great deals that are out there. And I know one thing that a lot of people always talk about buying, at least over the last couple of years, is getting an actual Amazon Echo device. And right now, we're going to kind of walk through what some of the Echo devices are that are available, some of the ones that we can, this one's really cool, it has this coming on there. Some of the different Echo devices that are available, maybe starting from the lower end up to the higher end. So what should we look at here first?
Okay, well, so for those of you who don't know, who may have been living under a rock for the last couple years, all of these devices have Amazon Alexa voice technology. That means they're smart speakers. You can talk to Alexa and be like, hey, Alexa, what's 50 times 2,000, in case you really need that information. And now there's
no one will ever know the answer to that question.
No.
Yeah.
But these are just 5 of many Amazon devices. And I thought I'd just bring a couple to kind of showcase the differences here. So we'll start from least expensive to most expensive. This is the brand new Echo Dot.
Which the Echo Dot, that's kind of been the classic, the entry point for a lot of people is getting the Echo Dot. This new one looks like the speaker is way bigger.
It is. It's bigger. Just to give you kind of a little bit of perspective, this is kind of the old Dot size. This is the Echo Dot Kids edition. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. But Amazon just released the new Echo Dot in September, and it's different in that it has the cloth cover. And probably the biggest difference with this one is that it sounds so much better than the old Echo Dot.
That's because I have one of the old Echo Dots, and I don't even use it for the speaker on it because the speaker's it's not really worth anything.
Yeah.
I pair it with another speaker, but you're saying the speaker on this new one is actually pretty good.
It's like 7 times better.
Wow.
It's really good. It actually compares to the original Echo in terms of sound. And for Black Friday, we've seen this like it's going to be going for as little as $24. It's normally
24
$50.
Yeah, $24 at that point. I mean, it's worth it. Even if you've just been thinking about getting one, or like, I don't know if I want one or not. $24. That's not a big investment.
Right. And if you're thinking, oh, do I want to get on the voice assistant craze? $24. Like you can't really go wrong for this price. Normally $50. I bet we'll see some additional some sales on Cyber Monday as well.
Cool.
This is the Echo Dot
Oh, I kind of
Kids
want another
edition.
one for $24.
You should get
Yeah.
one. You should get one.
Yeah.
You can. I should say you can still buy the old Echo too. For it's probably going to be crazy cheap.
Yeah.
Like
$10.
$10
Yeah.
maybe. This is the Echo Dot Kids edition. It's a little niche. It's I think they start at $69.99, so $70, and it comes in different colors, and it has this plastic like cover.
Is that a
It
waterproof
comes with
cover?
a lifetime warranty, which is interesting. So I guess like in case your kid chucks it across the room or something.
Which is exactly what I would think would happen.
Yeah.
It's what I would have done.
Right.
Yeah.
But it comes with, the reason why it costs more than a regular Echo Dot is because it comes with a year of family free time unlimited, which is like extra parental controls, all kinds of access to like movies, games, kids stuff.
Okay, I was wondering, what else made it different, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
So there's actually kids programming for the Echo.
Which you can actually buy and add to any of these other devices, but I think it's like $50 or something for a year.
Cool.
So, yeah. So
it's free with that one.
This is free. Yeah,
Cool.
comes with like a year or two of free time unlimited. So if you're like me, which I have a 4-year-old at home, and he asks for ridiculous like things like Alexa, play Black Panther music or something, and like some profane music will come on. So if you're worried about that, this is a good deal.
Okay, all right.
Moving on, this is the original Echo. It's not the original Echo, but it's kind of the flagship product. This is $100. It sounds better than these, but honestly, at this point, with the
updated
Echo,
speaker, yeah.
the new Echo Dot, I don't know why you'd want to buy this. I shouldn't discourage people from buying it, but
it's your opinion. I mean, you study this stuff. Yeah, if you're saying, at that point, what is the advantage of the actual Echo? Other than it's about 6 inches taller.
Yeah,
maybe.
Takes up a lot. Well, you can. This comes with like various covers. Like you can get like a wood shell or a metal shell or a fabric shell.
So if you're looking at it from like the decorative standpoint, then
sure. Yeah, it does. It does have a bigger woofer and tweeter in it. So it does have a slightly more room filling sound if you're concerned about sound. I believe I've seen this on sale for as low as like $70 maybe. It's normally $100. So again, it's a good deal. Just like all of these devices will do the same Alexa. They all have the same Alexa voice technology. So it's not like you're getting more Alexa with this.
Except for the
anything
kids
like that.
edition, just has that subscription service.
Exactly.
How's the speaker on the kids edition? That was one question that came in.
Yeah, it's not. Meh. It's
not
like
so
the
good.
original Echo Dot.
Okay.
Yeah. If you have a child audiophile, they're not gonna like this.
All right.
Speaking of audiophiles, though, if you are into sound, this is the Echo Plus, and this is by far Amazon's best sounding speaker.
Okay. So this is the upgrade over the Echo Plus.
Yes. So when they said they just announced this new device in September. We thought it was going to come with more, because the previous one had more smart home technology. It has Zigbee protocol integration, meaning if you have a Zigbee device, even if it doesn't integrate with Alexa, it still works with this.
Okay, that's cool. I think that's probably something that a lot of people are factoring in. If you have started to go down the smart home route, and you've got some smart outlets or different devices, that's probably important that they could all talk to each other.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is. This sounds fantastic. It sounds really great with the new Echo Sub, which they just announced, which is the subwoofer.
Right.
And it sounds great by itself. And it also has the built-in smart home hub, and it has a built-in temperature sensor.
Oh, that's cool.
So this is, they're putting a lot of time and energy into this device, and it sounds pretty awesome. I think this is $150. I've seen it already on sale for as little as $130, bundled with light bulbs and stuff. You can get
that's
a
cool.
Philips
So you get
Hue.
something else with it?
Yeah. Or they have the Amazon Smart Plug too, so you can get a bundle if you're keeping an eye out for good deals.
So it's kind of like a starter kit for
Smart home?
Yeah, which is
exactly
probably what I need. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have any smart outlets. Like,
What?
I know.
Oh my gosh, we need to get you
I
hooked
probably
up.
shouldn't have admitted that on the tech show, but yeah, I don't. Yeah, if we have some, I would love to try those out. So maybe
well,
that's how I'll do it.
Maybe we can hook you up, Greg. I have connections.
That was my ploy. That's what I wanted to do. All right, so we've got that. So that, again, that was the Echo Plus.
Yes, this is the Echo
Plus.
Plus. So we got Echo Dot, Echo Dot Kids Edition, Echo, Echo Plus. You keeping up here, guys?
So this next one is the one I'm actually really excited about. So this is the Echo Show
Right, yes.
with the full screen.
Yes.
How big is the screen? Is it?
It's a 10-inch screen,
10-inch
high-def screen. This was also just introduced in September. This is fantastic. It's expensive. It's $230. But as you can see, it has this really great screen. I do have the Alexa off right now, so we don't trigger her. But we
Yeah, so
could
it's going on
conceivably
constantly.
play music on this. We can play videos on this. My son knows how to watch Lego Batman on this, and he does it anytime he wants. Which I don't know. Call me a bad parent, but you know. It's fantastic. So the difference with all of these devices, obviously, is when you ask a question, you get verbal, you hear it. With this, you hear it and see it. So if you were to ask for the weather forecast, you would not only hear the weather forecast, you would also see it flash across the screen. If you say, Alexa, show me movie times, it'll show you actual results from your area that you can scroll through and choose from. It also has a drop-down menu where you can control your smart home, lights, thermostat, locks.
All by actually seeing what it is that you're controlling.
Right. So it gives you the additional feature of the screen that you can use as a touch screen in addition to just voice control.
I mean, and 10 inches, the screen is actually really big. Like it's
very big.
So I have a couple of questions on this one. Does it have a camera?
It does have a camera.
Okay.
Yes.
So
you can turn it off in the app.
Okay.
Yeah. That creeps some people out.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see how that would happen.
Yeah.
So with the camera, can you do, obviously video calls or things like that? Okay.
So my husband travels out of town for business often, and we do drop in, meaning that he can just be like, hey guys. And
you can just all of a sudden, boom, appear on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
A noise, there's a chiming noise first. You can
Okay.
do drop in on any of these, just there's the additional potential creepy factor of
Right,
having
of
it
the camera,
on
of
the
the camera
video.
being involved.
Right.
So I would have a Band-Aid over that. All right,
Yeah.
so you have that. So you do have the camera option, and you can live stream videos. Like
Yes.
I said, not YouTube though, right?
Not YouTube.
Yeah.
So
Because
thanks
of
a
the
lot,
whole-
Google and Amazon, for being in a major fight all the time. You cannot watch YouTube. Although I've seen bootleg YouTube videos on this.
Where you can.
Somehow, because this runs Bing.
Oh.
So somehow though, it goes through some filter where I'm like, my son is really into Lego, watching Lego videos, and so somehow I've gotten to YouTube by going through Bing and then going through. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe there's some tricky
Sounds like
ways.
maybe we need a
things that are
guide at
happening.
digitaltrends.com.
Yeah.
Let's figure that one out. All right, so the thing I was going to ask you, because we talked about this off air, so you use this at home, and
Yeah.
this is actually Kim's personal show that she brought in here.
Yeah,
And,
my
you.
husband's kind of upset. He's like, "Why?"
Is he going to drop in right now on us?
He could. If he's watching, he absolutely could. That would be kind of weird. Yeah, it just sits on my kitchen, and we use it for playing music. We use it for just about everything. It's great.
That's I think where I would probably station it somewhere like that.
Yeah. If you look at the side, it's kind of huge. I mean, you're not going to put this next to your nightstand or anything. I don't or on your nightstand. I think it might be a little too big for that.
Yeah, and just kind of take a look at just some of the different, the side. So I mean, it's kind of it's heavy, so it's not going to fall off. Which actually I kind of like that idea, that it wouldn't be falling off.
Yeah.
Falling off of anything, because I'd probably knock it over. Hopefully the screen's durable, because I'd probably also break that. But nonetheless, it's really a cool device. And so this one you think will be on sale as well?
I think so. I
Probably.
think it could be on sale for maybe $199.
Okay.
Maybe cheaper. I don't know. Amazon's really, being aggressive with the pricing already. So.
Right, because and we didn't talk about this, but there are the Google devices, obviously, that are also in competition with this. And
Yeah.
what
Google
was their-
just released the Google Home Hub, which
Google
is
Home Hub, and that's their video.
the Echo Show's competition. And it doesn't have a camera, but it's tiny, and the sound quality is not good. One final thing I should say about this is this also has a smart home hub built in. So they added that capability with the new version.
So it's just like all the other Echo devices, you know, with this, with the smart home hub.
But with
So,
it has
gotcha.
the same smart home hub, like Zigbee
Echo
smart home
Plus
hub
does.
that the Echo Plus does. Yeah.
That's really, really cool. Taking a look here, just at the comment, second DT video, that's only popped up. Oh, okay. So, yeah, so there's some different things. Talking about some, anyway, with the Echo Show, it is I think I would want to get this. So this actually
Yeah.
maybe one I would consider.
This one?
Yeah. The Echo
So-
Show, the video screen, I mean, it's kind of what we've always wanted, right? You know? I mean,
Yeah.
the interactive video screen like this that you could just plop anywhere and have all of the, you know, the bells and whistles of Amazon and Alexa and all of that.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, I think the price might turn some people off, but like I said, I have it in my home and I really like it a lot.
Very cool.
Once you get the screen, you're like, why would I go to one of these devices?
Right.
But
Yeah.
with that said, we do have one of these in our house too.
And that's the Echo Dot.
The Echo Dot.
The Echo Kids.
I mean,
how many smart home devices do you have in your house? Are you willing to
Echo
admit?
devices? I have about 6
You have 6 of them.
Echo devices. We have, yeah, I have a lot.
So do you pair them up? Because that's one of the other things about Echo devices. You can pair them rooms, or is it?
No, but that's only because we just haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
It's a relatively new thing. We have this in the kitchen. We have this in our living room. We have a Sonos One speaker in the office. We have an Echo Spot in the bed. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
But why not? I mean, if you can,
Yeah.
have them all in there. And do you utilize all of them?
Yeah,
Have you found yourself, like, once you have these, like, what's the most common thing that you use them for?
honestly.
Playing Batman Lego videos? Or
No, a kitchen timer.
a kitchen timer?
Yeah, like for cooking dinner. Like the nice thing about this is you can, well, any of them, you can set multiple timers. So
Yeah.
Thanksgiving people, if you are in the kitchen, set a potato timer for 20 minutes, set a turkey timer for 3 hours, and it'll say your turkey timer is done. It's fantastic.
Okay, I like that idea.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. What other? But that's the main use. So timers.
Isn't that
Out
ridiculous
of all this
of all the
technology-
high-tech things I do with these devices, that's setting a kitchen
Yeah,
timer.
setting
And
timers.
listening to music, I would say, are the two main things.
Listening to music is definitely what I use it for a lot, and I'm curious for people watching too, because we are live. You know, what do you use these devices for, or is there something else that you you've thought about, or something else that you do other than timers? But timers is a great one. I'm gonna admit I've
Yeah.
used timers too.
So you have an old Echo Dot?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this one, I'd say if you are just like getting started with smart home, or you're like, I don't know about this, like come on, $25 for this? You're not gonna go wrong,
Yeah.
buying something and just trying it out.
$25, heck yeah. And I know we need to go to break here in just a minute, but we do have one other question here. Sarah just said, according to the ads, it can be used for calling. Does it follow the person like the portal? And that's talking about the Facebook portal. The camera can follow
yeah.
you around. It'll track somebody. You can watch the videos on that. Does this do that kind of activity?
No, the Facebook portal actually is mounted on, the Portal Plus, I should say, is mounted on a rotating camera, which follows you around the room.
Yeah.
Maybe a little creepy, maybe
Ups the
really
creep
cool.
factor.
But no, this doesn't do this. If you're not in the frame or the screen, you're not there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, then again, that is the Echo Show that we're taking a look at right here. And you can check out all of these digitaltrends.com. Kim, thank you so much too, because this is just an education section,
Yeah.
for everybody. So take a close look for the Black Friday deals, the Cyber Monday deals. Check that all out at Digital Trends. And read the review of all of these Echo devices. All right, we're going to be back here in just a minute with our special guest from Dyne. Stay tuned with DT Daily. Hello, back here with more DT Daily, live every morning, live on Periscope, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So drop in your comments and questions. We are joined now by Chris Bevans, the creative director of Dyne. Thank you so much, Chris, for hopping in here today.
Thanks for having me.
And I'm excited because I have a bunch of questions that I want to ask you just about what you do. But maybe for everybody watching, we can give a rundown of what Dyne is and what you guys do over there.
Sure. Well, Dyne is a higher-end men's sportswear brand that is rooted in technology, sustainability, and performance materials. Yeah, we're just having fun over there making cool stuff.
It seems like you're having fun. I mean, just taking a look at some of the different people that you've worked with personally and just throughout everything you do, it's just sounds so exciting. Talking about Dyne, like this technology aspect in particular, I'm interested, how that's being incorporated in, because I feel like that's something that we've, a lot of people have tried to do or thought about. It's like, how can we incorporate tech? But I haven't seen a lot that has, it seems like a lot of people are trying. I guess what kind of approach do you take? Yeah. What kind of approach does Dyne take?
Well, first, the fabrics are quite technical, right? That we are buying and sourcing around the world from the different wicking properties that you would expect a sportswear brand to have. But we're diving a little bit deeper, working with near-field communication, NFC chips.
Yeah.
We're finding that it's creating a bridge between our office, our ideas, and the customer around the world. Retail is really the instrument that we're looking to use to be our bridge. And the NFC technology allows sales associates to scan the garments, learn about the brand. We're a global brand, so Instagram isn't usually the first stop for some countries. But everyone has their mobile device in their hand.
Yeah.
And since I'd say Apple has joined the NFC community, unlocking that technology where Android platform has had it quite for some time now, we're basically uploading information about the garment's construction, pricing, lookbook, things about the brand that we want to share, and music. And you just scan it with your phone, and it's on a web platform that we've built in partnership with Blue Byte, and big shout out to those guys, the Blue Byte crew.
That's an aspect I never actually thought about, thinking about it from just a retail standpoint of incorporating technology in there. So you wouldn't need to have a tag with anything specific on it.
Exactly.
So it'd actually be within the garment itself.
Yeah, we're trying to use as less paper as possible, as much, try to get as much wastage away from the brand. But we're also, what we've managed to do as well is point the NFC chip to our Shopify, so you can actually scan the garment and purchase it on the spot as well.
Wow.
While the person is wearing it. So.
So you walk up to somebody, it's like,
hey,
I really like
that
shirt,
that.
like scan, boom, I've got it.
Exactly. So we're just exploring it. We find we believe in it, and that garments will have this technology embedded in it in the future, and just creating community at the same time.
That's really cool. Talking about this, just from their approach that you take, obviously looking at it from the retail standpoint, something that certainly I never thought about looking at. Like, what are the other, do you look at what technology is available and think, how can I apply this to the products? Or do you look at what the use of the products are and think, what can I grab that would help out the user? Because I know you've worked with like Marshawn Lynch. And,
sure.
And Sean John.
Yeah, I've worked with some really amazing folks and entrepreneurs, athletes, entertainers. So I've got to see all different aspects of brand building. It's more than just fashion design and great garment construction. It's really about the brand and positioning the brand. So I've managed to experiment on other people's dimes and see what works and what doesn't work. But what we're finding is that, and we're trying to solve problems through textiles, and that is our main goal. So from the garment construction, the factories that we partner with, the design lines, and now here with NFC technology embedded in each garment. It was really about, hey, how can we connect? How can we have a truer connection and a deeper relationship with our base? And NFC just felt right, and it's I'd say our third ideation of evolution of the chip, and just from the wearability, the security standpoint, being washable and durable. So
we're personally here in Oregon, like it rains a lot.
Exactly.
Clothes are gonna get wet.
Exactly, just it's nature. So we've managed to secure that with some great partnerships, and with Bemis, who's one of the, I'd say, one of the best brands out there, and companies as far as bonding and sealants.
Wow. I mean, and again, all things that I wouldn't think about when it comes down to it. But yeah, that's a really important aspect of what technology you put in there.
Yep.
Where do you see things going now? Are there areas that you want to take the technology, either the NFC chip or other kinds of tech?
Yeah, well, I'd say we're focused in on the NFC technology, and we're getting some love from Apple.
Yeah, I mean, which is huge.
Yeah.
Apple's, coming on board.
Exactly, and just their Apple Pay campaign.
So is that something where you'd be able to pay like through your clothes?
Absolutely.
Wow.
That's exactly it. So we've had we managed to give Apple a demonstration, and it went pretty well, I must say. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but
right.
We have some special things going, and Apple is really open to what we're doing, and they were just excited that we found a new way of utilizing their technology.
Yeah.
So I think that's really the excitement that we're feeling right now, and between our partners with Blue Byte, that's kind of helping us understand the back-end support that's needed for these types of functions. It's a really special time for the Dyne brand and crew. So
that's really cool. I mean, and congratulations too. I can only imagine what that was like just behind the scenes going into a meeting with Apple.
Yeah,
that's gotta be a little bit intimidating. But I mean, obviously, what you're working on, that's the payoff. It's
you got to put yourself out there.
You got to do it.
And we really look at the brand not as just as a fashion sportswear brand, but also as a tech brand at the same time. And that's why we're really happy to be here at Digital Trends and everything that you guys do, and so we really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thanks for coming in and talking about this. Like I said, Digital Trends here, we love tech.
Hey,
and I love seeing different ways tech's being incorporated.
Exactly.
That nobody's thought about before.
That's the play.
Yeah.
So we just keep pushing it and trying and looking to keep fashion on the edge of innovation at the same time. So Dyne is one of those brands leading the charge.
Matt, congratulations. Well, Chris, thank you so much for joining us. How can people follow along with Dyne and what you're doing?
Yeah, on the gram, of course, Dyne.life, our website, www.dyne.life. And all of our fans out there, really, appreciate all the support that everyone's been showing us, and we're just blazing new trails.
Nice. Well, Chris, thanks for hopping on DT Daily today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I think we're just going to wrap up from here, because where do we go from here? This was amazing. Just to kind of recap some of the things we talked about today for everybody who joined in live, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. Kind of gave you the headlines, talked about Amazon's new headquarters, or split headquarters, which wasn't really a second headquarters, but we've got the details about that. And Digital Trends Twitter may be adding finally an edit button, which is very much needed for somebody like me who misspells things. We also talked to the CEO of Indiegogo, David Mandelbrot. David Mandelbrot hopping on with Les Shue in our New York office to talk about Indiegogo and everything they're doing. We had Kim Wetzel hop in studio talking about all the different Echo devices and maybe some of the ones that are going to be on sale for Black Friday, especially the Echo Show. I thought that one was really cool. You can check out all that at Digital Trends. And of course, Chris Bevans from Dyne talking about everything they're doing in creating this, marrying this NFC chip and the technology with fashion. Really, really exciting stuff. And every day here at DT Daily, we bring you something different. We've got the tech headlines. We've got whatever you want to know about that. We'll try to keep you up to date with whatever is trending, and then bring you unique interviews and segments that can help you learn more about tech and how you can use it in your life. So subscribe, follow us wherever you follow social media, follow Digital Trends. Make sure you're here every day. We've got lots more coming up this week. And thanks everybody for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. We'll be back here tomorrow with more DT Daily.